So, um, this music might be because I taught the lyrics. I'm gonna play music on my phone, girl. But yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about the power of thought. Not a thought, but a thought. Okay. So you know how when we wiggle our toes, we're using our brain to do that. Like if I say raise my hand raises. Like I had that idea in my head to do it, and now it's manifesting through my body. Now, just because sometimes when we think about stuff we don't see it doesn't necessarily mean it's not a thing, you know. Um yeah. So I'm jotted some notes down while I was having this download. Um but yeah, so the mind is really powerful and it goes a lot deeper than just thinking it. You have to actually feel it happening. Like I'm feeling the passion. Like I have passion behind moving my toes. I have passion behind walking. Like I want to do it. It's something that needs to be done. So the thought comes and I manifest it and I do it. Now, let's think about propaganda. Um, Subconscious control. Just as easy as you can tell yourself to move your foot, you can be subconsciously programmed. And a lot of these things are because of muscle memory. And muscle memory is pretty much when you get in a car, you know how to drive. Like you don't have to teach yourself how to drive every day. When you get up, you brush your teeth, you shower, like you know how to do these things because you've been doing them for so long. Your muscles get, used to it and they memorize these actions and they do them. So that's why when I tell my brain to wiggle my toe, it knows automatically, boom, toe, wiggle. Like, yeah. They actually create computers and like a lot of different stuff in replication of the human body. Now, we can hear, we can see, we can type, we can capture images, but only in our head. Now, when we have an outside force to do it for us, it makes things a little bit easier because you don't have to dig in deep and da da da. But yeah, back to the propaganda. Now, say, we'll use fast food restaurants for an example. Um, McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Burger King, Popeyes, Churches, like a lot of these restaurants use the colors red and yellow. And those colors actually trigger like glands inside of you to like salivate and make you hungry. So even if you're not hungry and you see one of those signs, it's like, oh shit, food. I could eat that. Now, the mind can be manipulated so easily because we're not really aware of how powerful it is. So when we do things and say things like there's no true intent behind it, like we're not really aware of like what we're doing. So that's why gossiping is bad. Like when you talk about people, they actually like feel it in their energetic field. Yeah. The body is like Earth, about 70% water. Um, the element of water is associated with emotion, and emotion is associated with feeling. Now, water also stores power, energy, thought, sounds, like everything. Like water moves in waves, like it holds all of the waves and travels. That's why everything sounds muffled, like you can't really see underwater, you can't really hear underwater. It's because it's moving and vibrating at such a high frequency because it's holding all of that. Like there's air and oxygen within the water. That's how fishes breathe. We just can't breathe it because we're not used to it. I'm really rambling because I'm kind of channeling right now. Like it's just, I don't know. The brain is so powerful. It's really hard to even try and put it into words because it goes way beyond words. Watching my TV. feel like doing a reading. I haven't done one in a while. Since I'm talking about the power of thought in nature and water, I am going to use my nature cards. How should we channel our thoughts at this time? We're in the sign of Aquarius, which is the water bearer, which is going to be a lot of intellectual feeling, thinking, emotion, subconsciously bringing up old feelings that we are not paying attention to again. So what ways should we be using our thoughts? What should we work on manifesting through thought? And one more. Confirmation about this time. Aquarius time, water bearing times. Confirmation for I. Okay, so the first card we got is Ferns, and it says New Wonders. Now, these new wonders is being open to the power of thought, being open to how powerful your mind works and how thinking and visualizing and feeling things and having passion behind things can help them to manifest, even if you don't physically see it right then and there when you think about it. I'll read you what this says out of the book. I don't really do this too often. Okay, I'm trying to figure out if a fern is considered a tree or a bush. You must be wondering what type of creature am I? Okay. They are indicators of doorways between worlds, especially the human and the fairy. Now, new wonders are opening for you. Trust in what you're seeing and hearing and feeling. Your senses are physical and psychic and more perceptive now than ever before. As a child, you believed in many possibilities, and there is occurring a replay of some of these wonderful childhood experiences. Keep your heart open, and then in your belief of wondrous magic, it will be reawakened. So yeah, think back to being a child and how you used your imagination to have fun and how you used your mind to create like a whole new world around you. Like the mind of a child and the mind of an adult is like completely different simply because they are not conditioned as much as we are. They haven't gone through so many things to alter their point of view as we have. To them, it's just life. I have someone to take care of me. I go to school. I do what I gotta do, and I go play. I'm still a kid. I have my imagination. I get to play with my toys, etc., etc. So that's just a little thing that you can do. Inner child work is very important in this day and age because a lot of it has been internalized over the years because people don't really pay attention to how important it is. But our upbringing determines how we act in relationships, act with friendships, just act in general. So it's very important to look at how that relates to how you act and behave now. The second card is Clouds, Signs and Visions. So pay attention to the synchronicities that you have coming around you. If you have any reoccurring thoughts, any reoccurring dreams, you keep seeing the same bird, you keep seeing the same sign, numbers like 333 or 1111, like pay attention to those things because those are messages that your thoughts are in action. And yeah, like there's spirit omens, there's animal spirits, there's animal signs, plants, trees, flowers, like all types of different things that you could pay attention to. Look at the color. How does it make you feel? Like what feelings does it trigger? What thoughts does it trigger? Who does it remind you of? Things like that. And that'll give you an idea of how your reality is manifesting. I love me enough for the both of us. And that's why you trust me. I know you've been through more than most of us. Spirits speak to us often through the clouds. Remember lying back in the grass and watching the clouds. What we saw were often messages. When we were younger, we would look at the clouds and be like, oh, hey, there's an elephant. Hey, there's a dog. I still do that sometimes, and I'll be in my head like, is this real? Or am I just imagining it? But just because I imagined it myself doesn't mean that it's not real. In the wise words of Professor Dumbledore, there are many signs and visions around you now. They are becoming stronger and clearer. There are signs coming to you in regards of everything you do and everyone you meet. If you pay attention to these signs now, you will know exactly what to do and what not to do. Spirit is around and is speaking to you through the veils. The clouds are parting, and if you look, you'll see what needs to be seen. So if you look in between, there's different messages that you will receive. If you see the planet Venus up in the stars, or if you see like an airplane making the word love in the sky, understand that that's a message for you to see because you saw it. And understand that all of these things can't be captured. So if you try to take a picture of it, sometimes Spirit doesn't allow that because it's only for your eyes and for you to receive that message at the time. The confirmation is flowing and evolving rivers and streams. This is so well, in my opinion, the flowing and evolving card just means to go with the flow. Like, discern between what's your energy and what's not. Don't give extra emotion to things that don't deserve it. And just stand in your truth. Speak how you feel. Act on how you feel. But do it in not a passive-aggressive way. You know, be open to the signs and the synchronicities. Be open to new possibilities and change, because change is coming and it's going to keep coming. And it's something that you can't avoid. And if you do try and avoid it, this is why life seems disastrous to many people, because they won't accept the life-death life cycle. And then she started telling me how I'll never be as big as Trey Songz, but was she wrong? That was just negative energy for me to feed off. A Beverly Center of Macy's where I discovered Bria. Rivers and streams follow the path of least resistance. Do not resist at this time. Keep it moving. They adjust to the environment. Let the river of life take you where it will. Do not resist. You will end up where you need to be, where it is most beneficial to you. Even if you cannot see what is coming around the next bend, trust in the flow of life. Waterways reflect time and evolution. The past and the future are coming together. All that you have dreamed and imagined is flowing into your life, bringing awareness of new realms and expansion of consciousness. Like I said, water is what you feel. It's what you think. Air is actually connected to thinking. That's why a lot of air signs are very intellectual and airhead-like, because there's just so much information out there. It's hard to try and stay grounded in one thing. So now that we're in the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer, who is an air sign, try and get in tune with both of those elements, the water and the air. Feel and think and make them connect so that you can live out your true destiny. These are the cards one more time. Ferns, new wonders. clouds, signs, and visions, flowing and evolving. One more thing that I want to touch base on is psychic abilities. We all have them. Now, I'm not saying everybody's a palm reader, everyone's a seer, everyone can do this, can do that. But when you see something in your head and it's like a movie, like you see the images, you hear the voices, but you're visualizing, and that can either be a vision or it can be you creating something or you seeing like a past memory or maybe a dream or something like that. But yeah, dreams and all of that, pay attention to them because they have very important messages to tell you. Peace.